All that I wanted was a job. Who doesn't get one? Rewinding 10 years ago, in the last leg of my MBA, when all of my classmates were getting placed left, right, and center, all that I wanted was indeed a job. It took me 32 interviews to get my first one. Along that journey, my only companion was this rule book where I kept note of all the stories and their takeaways, and here I am to share a few of them with you. The Monday was here, the first ever job interview. The night before was all but exciting. Preparations were in full swing. Fear of unknown and all that stuff. I kept telling answers to all the possible questions in my head, including questions like, tell me about yourself in 2 lines. First impression is the last impression is what I had in my mind. The next morning, I skipped breakfast. Nervousness, I guess. And I walked out of my hostel gate. And there, I saw my classmates already near the college gate. I ran, but slowly. Just doesn't go together, right? Just to avoid the creases on my dress. When I reached the interview room, they told it was going to be telephonic. I'm not sure whether I was relieved or much more tensed. The phone was on. Alphabetically, I was the first to go. And I told something like this about me. Hi, I'm Ashwini. I believe in working hard and getting best results. My hobbies include reading and writing, and went on to answer all the questions that came my way. I was rejected on basis of how I described myself. How did they know and decide who was I in just 2 lines? The second time, this one was going to be precious. After super rigorous screening by college, 7 of us were selected for this job, seeking for an HR executive. I was all set to crack it this time. I prepared well, got up in the morning with a super positive attitude, searched my whole cupboard, picked up this beautiful green dress. By then, I understood the importance of professional attire. Looked up in the mirror, and I was all set to go. The only thing that was there in my mind when I sat in the college bus was this final round of interview. All of them were taking too long a time to come out. When I went in, the time went by in a jiffy. When I came out, I thought this was the best interview, and I declared myself selected. After 2 days, when the results were out, I was not selected, but my best friend was. When she joined the organization the other day, she told me the reason I was not selected was because of the green dress I wore. Just cannot forget that color, kept out of it for a long time. Did not exhibit the confidence that it had to, and they thought I would not fit the bill. I was like, should it be me or my dress? Whatever. That day, my rule book knew that I had to create a me, a brand called Ashwini. This merry-go-round of interviews was on, and I believed I was getting an expert at this just to be proved otherwise. All of us who had not got jobs at that point of time were trying to grab the next one, and so was this one. The third time, a big hospital chain it was. And since there were 10 of us, they decided to conduct a group discussion. I just prayed for the topic to be familiar, and oh yes, it was something related to politics at that point of time. And all of us rambled to get our points heard. To my surprise, or no surprise, I did not make it to the list. Mind you, there were just 2 of us who did not make it to the list on basis of unable to speak in front of 10 others. Today, I guess, we have 300 of us here. My rule book got richer with done and not to be done for myself. The 4th time around, it was a Friday evening, and I got a call from this organization stating that they liked my resume and wanted me to meet the Monday morning. It was 8 a.m., and all that I saw was the security and the interviewer. And after some initial rounds of questioning, he said he was impressed with me. Finally, I said. It was 9:30 a.m., and the office was buzzing with activity. And they took me to this attic and handed over a broom and a bucket and asked me to clean this attic. The only respite I had was this other girl who was doing the same job. And from her, I got to know that this would be my job until they found someone to replace me. I sneaked out from that place during lunchtime, not because I didn't want to clean the place, but the role was that of a HR recruiter, and cleaning was no way close to it. This time, the fifth time, I had to travel cities to reach the place of interview after interviewing with almost everybody in this hotel unit. The wait seemed eternally long, and after I waited for some more time, we were called in for the interview. They asked, and I answered. They asked, and I answered. All was fantastic. Some more waiting, and then they congratulated us for this amazing interview that we gave and told they thought a male would suit this position a little better. I felt like screaming at the top of my voice. But a long silence before I even realized what was just told to me. The icing on the cake was this one of my last interviews, where we were called on a Monday morning and asked to stand like in an army parade, and this group leader took us all around the city. In the interim, I figured out we were marketing some product. No clue what they were. And the evening ended by them telling me that I did not suit a marketing job. I was like, oh yes, you're right. I came in for a HR role, and perhaps that's what my resume told too. When I cracked my 33rd interview, a job seeking for a management trainee HR, I felt liberated and overwhelmed with emotions. When I think of me at work today, the lessons from this rule book has enabled me to make every conversation, job, mine, and that difference is what I call a brand. To do the best in any situation, to understand persistence, and persistence is that one thing which will keep me calm under any circumstances. A time in life that I hated the most and wished to be erased has had some of the biggest learnings for me and has made me what I am today, a seasoned professional with lots of expertise and accolades. Thank you.